A prisoner with a 48-year sentence helped an unfamiliar kid. He was constantly taken to the prison. Hello friends, today I want to talk about people who find themselves on the wrong side of the law for a variety of reasons, and sometimes for reasons beyond their control. Of course, most of them deserve the punishment they got, but then there are people who are imprisoned because of circumstance, and after hearing this story, be sure to write your opinion on whether such a person has the moral right to get a second chance. This story took place in 2015. A 9-year-old boy named Zach was unable to completely adapt to school. His parents could not understand the cause of his problems, so they decided to go to specialists, where after diagnosis, the doctors made a disappointing diagnosis: autism. Little Zach stopped communicating with his peers, suffered from panic attacks, and almost never slept through the night. The boy's parents were desperate because they could not do anything to relieve their son's suffering. In the moments of his attacks and hysterics, he would not let anyone near him, and his parents cried on the pillow from helplessness. The search for a way out of this situation was not successful. The doctors were useless. They just threw up their hands and could not help. Get over it, you have to live with it. Susie, Zach's mother, could not accept this fate. She was anguished, searching daily for options and grasping at even the slimmest of chances. It was this desperation that led her to a man named Chris Vogt. The boy's parents had read about him online on one of the forums. Many people were very grateful to him. Chris had once worked as a dog handler. He trained dogs who then helped autistic people manage their symptoms. At the time, the parents thought that there was hope. However, it wasn't that simple. The fact is that Chris had been incarcerated for 17 years since 1998. He got a 48-year sentence for murder. But most surprisingly, even in captivity, Chris didn't give up his business. He still trained dogs and achieved excellence in the field. However, no one used his students for their intended purpose. For the most part, Chris's dogs in prison helped the deaf and blind inmates. But Zach's mother decided not to give up and go the long and hard way of bureaucracy. In the end, after almost half a year, she was still allowed to visit the prisoner. The first meeting was not easy. Seeing an unfamiliar man for the first time, especially when he was in prison, little Zach was very frightened. But gradually, their subsequent meetings brought interest and even clear joy to the child. After a couple of visits, he had become fond of the dog and its owner. A dog named Clyde was trained by the prisoner to respond to every impending panic attack by the boy. The dog's main job was to make sure that before the attack, Zach could be focused on something to distract himself and calm himself down. While Zach was distracted by the animal, he felt much better, and the attacks gradually subsided. This went on for months. Clyde became a true and most devoted friend to Zach. He did not leave him even a step at a time. Chris himself never received a penny for his work, always refusing any financial aid. A little later, Zach himself said that since his first visit to the correctional facility, he had almost never had any attacks. Eventually, he was able to communicate with people again, and was increasingly able to go back to his real life. He is truly glad that now he has friends, and the most important friend in the person of the dog Clyde, and of course, Chris. At the end of rehabilitation, everything is settled, after which the family decided to thank their savior. The meeting of the dog handler and little Zach touched everyone. For the first time in a long time, the boy tenderly and warmly embraced the man. At that moment, the prisoner himself could not contain his emotions, and cried. With heaviness and sadness, the murderer recalls and tells of the day his crime took place. There was an ordinary altercation where no one was in control of what was going on. At one point, things went too far. As Chris explained, he was too afraid and couldn't do the right thing. He makes no excuses for himself and believes that since he took a man's life, he should suffer the punishment he deserves. He sincerely hopes that his work with dogs and helping people in need will at least calm his soul a little and redeem the guilt that keeps him from living and sleeping at night. Zach's life has certainly changed for the better. The dog became a faithful companion and helped the child to become normal. To the boy returned to sleep, he was finally able to talk to his classmates. It so happened that the boy was helped by a murderer. In difficult situations, help often comes from completely unexpected people. A person's past can say nothing if his soul hurts and needs rehabilitation. He was sentenced to 48 years in prison. 17 years later, a little boy gives him hope again. Friends, write your opinion. Do such people deserve a second chance? What do you think? Like the video and see you soon.